give you a 360 view here real quick before we get started, just so you can see there's absolutely nobody out here. Not even any sailboats or anything. You're probably going to see a lot of trash today. This is one of the few places in the world where I don't like to pick up trash, and that kind of sounds weird, you guys, but let me tell you why. While we start looking for some seashells here, turns out there's nowhere around here to dump trash. There's no trash dumps. There's no facilities. There's no services. Most people burn all of their trash here, and I tell you what, I do not like to burn trash. Putting all that plastic and waste into the atmosphere, and not my favorite thing to do here. So typically beaches I go to, I do pick up a lot of trash, but here there's nothing to do with it. I keep all of mine, and I pay a guy who takes it back to the city, but I wouldn't be able to afford to pick up all this trash and start paying people to take it for me. It uses a lot of fuel, and it uses a lot of people's kind of resources to get all that stuff back there. So you try to minimize the amount of trash you make, and then at the same time, don't want to burn it, but it's kind of tough to pick it up around here. So cool, let's keep going, and I'm going to show you some more cool stuff here in Sand Blast. Look at that beautiful pink and yellow clamshell right there. There's tons and tons of driftwood here, really huge pieces of bamboo like that one there, and just everything's pretty much coconut trees around here. So again, I've never been to this island, don't know where we are exactly, but it looks really fun. Oh, he's still alive. Yeah, this is a conch. Sometimes they get washed up on shore. You see his little leg in there, and he has no way of getting back to the water by himself. So let's see if we can bring him back to life here. I saw him move just a little bit. We'll toss him in there, and now it's one life saved. Good job, everybody. Wow, so lots of sea beans here, sea hearts, things like coconuts, calabash, all kinds of really cool stuff shows up on the shore here in Sand Blast. And there is a calabash right there. I feel some rain coming down on us, but there's barely any clouds in the sky at all. So funny. Lots of little conch shells. When those big one, like I just picked it up, when they don't make it back in to the water, they sit out and they dry out and become really, really pretty shells. That's not a bad one right there. Really got some nice opalescence to it. I'll probably keep that one. I don't typically collect a lot of shells, but I don't typically see a lot of shells. And most places I go to, you're not allowed to keep them. But this is one of the places where you are. There's not a huge variety, but worth picking up the good ones. So bam, right there, right at the top, we got two pretty good ones. And you're gonna see a lot of shell fragments as well, a lot of broken ones. Oh wow, look at this one. That is just gorgeous. Wow, look at the colors. Just a brilliant shell right there. Can you believe that? That's definitely going to be a keeper too. Wow, the colors of everything around here are just absolutely amazing. Look at that turquoise water. Beautiful pink and yellow starburst shell there. Really neat. So I know it's really sad how much trash there is in the world on the beaches, but let me promise you there is trash on every single beach in the world. That's just how it is these days. And it really kind of sucks, but there's nothing we can really do except for pick up pieces here and there. But being sad over it's not really going to do any good for you. Be happy about the good stuff we do have in life. Let's be excited about 2024 and all the great things it has to bring us. And try not to get down by the state of the world. Always try to look at the glass half full, you know. That nice sea biscuit they call these. Now you want to find these when they're more white and less hairy. They get one central hole, that is their mouth and their butt at the same time. And you can find some pretty cool ones around here. People use them as light fixtures and stuff like that. As you can see, as they sit in the sun longer, they become more and more white and more of a skeleton kind of shape. You can see the inside of them there. Those are really cool. Those are sea biscuits, kind of in the same family as the sea coins. Ooh, another nice little conch shell there. Just a little one, but really cool. I like finding the ones that have the yellow and pink inside of these too. Those are definitely worth picking up. One thing I see a ton of on all of the beaches that I go to is shoes. Shoes and bottles have to be the two top pieces of trash that I see. In particular for shoes, it's Crocs and flip-flops. And see like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 flip-flops just right there. And then a lot of times Crocs too. Whoever built Crocs should probably build boats, because they are the most floaty shoes I've ever seen. They can make their way around the world very, very easily. I just actually finished reading a book called Washed Up, The Adventures of Flotsam and Jetsam, or something along those lines, and it talks about all the different things you can find on the beach and how you find them and what they mean. And it's really cool. There's actually a science behind all the stuff that washes up on the shores, where it comes from and the kind of currents it takes. And they used to actually put messages in bottles back before they knew how the ocean worked to try to track how the currents and the waves and the wind kind of moved everything around the world. And that's kind of how they developed the ways to track the currents and all that stuff. So let's see if we got anything on this side of the island. Again, I've never been here. I don't know the name of the place, but it is gorgeous. A lot of times on the front of these islands, you just have big things of mangroves, and usually on the inside tips is where you find all the really good stuff, like where we just were. I know it is a little windy here, but let's walk just around the corner here and see if we can see anything good. If not, we'll go back and start digging through some of those shells a little bit more. So most of these islands are uninhabited, meaning no one lives here. You'll see some rare fishermen coming around here, but this is pretty far out. Most of the guys are on little paddle dugout canoes, which means they really don't come this far because it's just such a distance to paddle from any of the ones they live on. Okay, so come up around the corner here. It doesn't look like the beach keeps going at all, and it gets really, really windy, which makes it hard for you to hear me. There's another island over there. Looks like there might be a tiki hut or two over there, which could just be a little fishing hut or something like that. Maybe I'll go check out that place next. But all right, let's go back to that beach we were just at. Yeah, and see if we can find some more really cool shells or stuff of that nature. Hope everybody's enjoying their New Year 2024. I certainly had a great time with friends. New Year's celebrating, fireworks, all that good stuff, food, drinks. And then everybody kind of took off, went their separate directions, and I'm kind of here just cruising by myself for the next few days. Not sure where I'm going to go, what I'm going to do. I really want to find some sea glass, but I know that there's basically none here. So kind of tempted to maybe put my boat in a marina and fly somewhere. Really tough this time of year to find any good weather windows for crossing the Caribbean. The wind comes from the Atlantic towards the Panama, and really there's not much of a good chance of crossing at the moment. It's 25, 30 mile per hour winds, 12 to 20 foot waves all the way across. It's a good way to break your boat. It's just a really, really tough haul. Sometimes around April, March, the wind will start to slack off, and then once that happens, I'll be good to go, and I can cross over to the East Caribbean and start finding some really, really good stuff, hopefully. But maybe I'll do a little preemptive trip out there, take a plane, find out where I need to sail to, and then go that way. But I don't know, all up in the air. Who knows? But hopefully I'll be somewhere really cool really soon, and we can start finding some more treasure again. Had a pretty bad cold last week, so a little stuffed up still, but pretty much all better now, just getting it all out of my system. Tons and tons of coconuts here. That's the main commodity besides fish that the Kuna Yala people, the Gunas, that they are able to use for making money, for supporting themselves. So yeah, lots of coconuts here. You're not supposed to eat those. Those are left for those guys. Here's a nice sea biscuit right here. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a beautiful specimen. Wow, look at that. Just so pretty. There's the back side there. Really neat. Might keep that one as well. The thing is, they're really, really, really fragile. They're super easy to crush. There's another one right there. So cool. 2 sea biscuits. And some more shells. Really like the ones with a little bit more color to them. But they're few and far between. Oh, there's one's got a little color. I'll just Indiana Jones that one. Boom. Look at that. Really pretty inside. kind of an orangish, brownish inside, but I like it. That's cool to me. Let's see what else we can find. Haven't found any sea beans today. There's another big sea biscuit. Somebody told me that their mouth and their butt is the same hole, but I'm seeing 2 holes in all of these. So maybe I was given some bad information. Who knows? I'll have to look that up later and become more of a sea biscuit expert. For now, though, I can tell you they don't taste anything like biscuits. I wouldn't try biting them quite hard. You see, this one's pretty cracked already, so we'll just pop it. They don't last for long. They're not meant to last long after they die. Ooh. Another little shell there. This one's kind of broken on the side, so I'll leave that one too. Now, when there's so many, you can be quite picky. Wow, that's a beautiful one right there. Look at that. Almost looks like a flower, right? Like a plumeria, something along those lines. It's not sea glass, but it's still pretty cool. And here's a good example of a conch shell without anybody living inside. And you can see that pink color. Just absolutely gorgeous pink. Sometimes you can find some rarer shells around here, like the Musica Voluta. I've got one of those. Looks like it's got like composition musical notes all over it. So that's a really neat one to find. Oh, here I see a darker shell. It's kind of pretty too. One good test you can do for the shells, you always want to make sure nobody's living inside. If there is, put them back in the water. And then next you want to give them a little smell test. As long as they don't smell bad, there's nothing dead in there, and that's good, because good way to stink up your boat or your house, or you leave it in your car and forget, and then not good to come back to. So cool, we've checked over in this direction. I've got my favorite sea biscuit of the day. Let's go back around the other way past my dinghy and see if we can find any other cool stuff. We'll work our way slowly in case there's something we missed here. Seeing lots of light bulbs around. As I said, there's always lots and lots of crocs. And of course, lots of coconuts. Pretty big tide range here. The tide only goes up about a foot, maybe 2 feet sometimes. But when we get storms and rain and stuff like that, sometimes it comes up a little bit higher. Good times for finding firewood. Come to these islands that nobody lives on, you can stock up pretty well. Always looking for a message in a bottle. I think that'd be really kind of a cool thing to find. Alright, so let's scan here inside the seaweed layer. That's right up here at the front, and see if we can see any more of these beautiful shells. Maybe something really special we'll find. Who knows? Ooh, look at this one. Oh wow. Yeah, look at that. That's so pretty. What a cool shell right there. So these ones are very fragile. So not great for putting in your pocket. You kind of want to bring something to wrap them in or something like that. But we'll take that and toss her in the dinghy gently. And it should be a nice little additive to my seashell collection that I got in the kitchen there. Ooh, another good conch right there. Just a little one. Nothing crazy on the colors, but still cool. Always nice to have as gifts too, especially around the holidays. Sometimes you run into people and you want to give them something, but you ain't got nothing. Seashells are always good to keep in your cache of gifts. Surprised that we're not seeing very many sea beans right now. Particularly, I do see a lot of those, but it always depends on which side of the island you're on. Typically, it's going to be more on the ocean side where they're getting pushed up and over, and a lot of times near rivers too, especially here in the tropics, where the sea beans grow on the trees, float down, and they end up on the beaches pretty close to where the river mouths are. So that's always a great spot to check. And you'll see tons and tons of crushed little shells here. And that's basically what sand is at the end of the day, is these shells being crushed more and more and more until they become a fine, fine powder. It's beautiful sand here. Really nice to walk on barefoot. I haven't worn shoes in well over a month. Hardly even had to put a shirt on. It's great. Whew, it is warm though. Probably about 85, 88 degrees here, Fahrenheit. And Not too many clouds, which is a good thing because I need all the solar power I can get on my boat to keep things going. And I'm surprised by how many sea biscuits there are. If they were a stronger kind of shell, I'd be happy to bring some home and send them to y'all, but I just know they'll never make it. And a lot of places you're not supposed to be taking them out of the country anyway, so always tough to say. Let me give you a little close-up on all the little tiny shells you can see here. There's just loads of them, thousands and thousands. All different colors and types. They're really neat, and they get smaller and smaller as they go down into the ocean there. Got my spear gun with me today. Running pretty low on food, so I might have to try to catch me a fish at some point, and I stuck my GoPro on the front of it, so hopefully I'll be able to capture that if I do get anything good and share that with anybody who's interested in that kind of stuff.